thank you all again for being here. I know everybody's kind of giving you the spiel about the Dark Horse and Dark Horse R, but thank you for being here. This is the Ford Performance Technical Center. My name is Matt Todd. I'm NASCAR Programs and Analytics Supervisor, and my day job is that for the most part. Also, kind of a day-to-day operations here at the Tech Center. Supporting our NASCAR teams. I do travel a lot. We're at the racetrack. They're most every weekend, so it's busy. A lot of back and forth. But as you heard Mark mention, right, the Tech Center is really the hub of our operations here in Charlotte, serving primarily our NASCAR teams, but we also service many other motorsports programs here, not just NASCAR. So it's a very important piece of the Ford Performance Motorsports puzzle. We opened this facility in 2014. Prior to that, we really had very little presence here in the city, right, to serve our NASCAR teams. All we really had was a small warehouse in Mooresville to supply the sheet metal, because that was really one of our primary things, is we had to supply some of the body panels to the NASCAR team. And we just recently got out of that business, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a second. But we opened this in 2014, and it really was the culmination of the vision of creating that motorsports engineering organization. Prior to 2014, we really didn't have a true motorsports engineering organization, and so Mark was tapped to kind of form that from the ground up, and that's what we've done now. We have almost 50 dedicated engineers to all of our motorsports programs, and that ranges from NASCAR to IMSA to NHRA, all of our off-road stuff, the Super Van, which you guys may have just seen, all of our WRC support. So we have a lot of people dedicated just to motorsports. 2014, we opened the doors. The simulator, which you'll see here in just a minute, was the centerpiece. MS1 was our first simulator that we opened then, and we've now grown to have 3 simulators here. So as the guys mentioned, it's been a huge part of the technology transfer from the racing world to the production car world, and that's really what motorsports engineering is about at Ford, is trying to apply the lessons learned on track to the production cars, and then also apply production lessons to the racetrack. So that tech transfer is a big part of our mission, and the simulators are really the centerpiece of that. So like I said, we have 3 simulators here. We just commissioned our 3rd one here at the start of the year. It's a brand new Ansible full motion simulator, state of the art. We're going to show a demo on MS1, because MS3, the new one, doesn't really demonstrate that well, because it's a full 360-degree screen, so there's not really a whole lot to see. But we'll give you a nice demo on MS1, and you can kind of understand how the buck moves and things like that on the platform. So the simulators are a big piece of what we have here, but there's a couple other things I wanted to mention. From an aerodynamics perspective, we run our scale model programs out of here. So we have a scale model shop, and it's kind of behind those curtains, so there's not really a whole lot to see. But the model right here behind Sam is an example of what a scale model might look like. This is an old Ford GT scale model. So our model makers here at the Tech Center build the models, from CAD. And then there's a scale wind tunnel in Mooresville that Penske operates, that we buy time at, and we'll take those scale models up there. Obviously with the scale, we can run through a lot of changes a lot quicker. It's a lot less expensive than full scale testing. So depending on the motorsport program, right? Sometimes rules prohibit scale model testing. Sometimes rules are favorable towards that. So we will pick and choose which programs are suited for scale model testing. But that's another big part of what we do here at the Tech Center with the scale tunnel in Mooresville with our partner Penske. This also serves, we talked about NASCAR, and obviously our NASCAR teams are right here in Charlotte with us. This serves as our data center for all the data we get with NASCAR. I don't want to get too much into the details about that, but we have servers here that communicate live with our tech trailer at the track, and then all the teams are synced here to the Tech Center. So everything that's happening at the track is basically happening here, and then the teams have their war rooms that they sync, and so it's a big data loop from the track to here to the teams, and the Tech Center and the IT infrastructure here supports that. Like I mentioned, our tech trailers, we have a tech trailer that goes to every NASCAR event that lives here for a couple of weeks during the season, but during the off season it's here. There's an example of that out back. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but our old IMSA tech trailer is back there that we use for the GT program. And we'll have some new IMSA tech trailers that will be supporting the Mustang Challenge series. So you'll probably see those at the track when you go to a Mustang Challenge event. So that's kind of some of the bigger things that we do here at the Tech Center, you know, with the simulation tools, the aero tools, and then some of our IT and data analytics things that we do for our NASCAR teams. I think this is really cool. Jim mentioned this. This is our fabric wall. So every day when you come in, you do get a pretty big reminder of how this all started, how this all happened, and how we got here. So kind of a cool reminder that that you see every day when you come to work here at Ford Performance.
Bit of inspiration.
Yep, exactly. So, okay, let's go check out the simulator.
Cool.
So this is a typical setup. We've got Dan Tiley, our simulation supervisor here, Dale, our operator, and David Reagan, who you guys may be familiar with from NASCAR. He does a lot of driving for us. He drives our Wheel Force program car for NASCAR. He is one of our standard simulator drivers that if we need help with engine tuning or general development, David does a great job for that. He's also a driver coach for us, for our younger drivers. So David's here to give a demo. And
con ruido y todo.
Seguro le ponen acá. Me imagino que lo tienen acá.
Wow.
Yeah, this is the road.
Yeah, we're driving a Roval, but a little bit different configuration than what they're showing. No. We've done a little modification to the Roval for the school versus. I'm assuming this is a NASCAR version?
Yeah, this is.
So they do a little bit different. This approach is NASCAR. This is NASCAR.
Back straight away.
Ooh, crash.
So anyone was wondering what it looks like to crash, that's
Yeah, last generation, the Fiesta. You know, now we race the Puma. So that's just one that we had left over. We thought it would look good there. We had a GT there for a little while, and now we've got that one there. So.
So all your NASCAR stuff is coming out of here too?